Hey everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Explained. If you're new here, my name is Max. So in this video today, I want to talk about dollar cost averaging and the advantages of using this as your investment strategy, especially within the crypto space. I have found this to be incredibly effective for myself, and I've really taken to it, and it really does mean a lot to me to explain it to you because I do think it is the best way to go about the crypto space when it's just so volatile and so, impossible to predict. So the reason I really want to get into this is because I have had a lot of questions in the comment section about, is it too late to buy this? Should I wait for it to come down? What's the best time to buy for this project? All of those kind of questions. And unfortunately, I can't really answer that directly. First of all, because I have no idea, and neither does anyone else. If there's any YouTubers out there that are telling you that they know the exact point where certain things are going to happen based on, technical chart analysis and all that, I really do think that that is all just nonsense. And again, I'm not trying to discredit those people because they probably do know a lot more than me when they're doing the chart analysis and all that stuff. But honestly, I think when it comes to crypto, your best bet is to just accumulate over time and then wait for that to grow in value. And don't try to time it because timing it is going to be incredibly risky and also incredibly difficult. It's just impossible for any of us to predict the future. So that's one reason why I can't answer those questions. The other reason why is because I'm actually not a licensed financial advisor, so I can't directly give you financial advice. But what I can do is provide you with my own experience and my own perspective in the hopes that that is useful for you when you're building out your own strategy. Because that's the biggest thing, is because you have to find the strategy that works for you. And that's true across any investment, whether that's real estate, whether that's the stock market, or whether that's crypto. You have to find your strategy that works best for you, that you're able to stick with, because the most important part of any strategy is consistency. And if you're not able to be consistent with that strategy, you really should try to, find another strategy, because consistency is always going to be the biggest thing. So dollar cost averaging is what I try to do. And basically what dollar cost averaging is you basically just don't pay attention to any of the price movement, any of the noise that's going around about certain projects, any kind of FUD pieces that come out. Ignore all of that. If you believe in a project, and for me, that's Bitcoin, that's Ethereum, that's Cardano. If you have projects that you really believe in long term and you've kind of done your research and you know how these things work and you know why they're valuable, you know the value proposition, as long as you've done all of that research and you truly believe in it, you should just try to get as much as possible and not worry about the short term and just, focus completely on the long term. And the best way to do this is just have like a weekly investment. And the best part about this is in something like Coinbase, you can do this automatically. You can set up an automatic weekly investment. So regardless of what the price is at that certain day, you can invest every Wednesday, invest $50, invest $30, invest $10. It doesn't really matter how much it is. It's just the fact that it's consistent and you're going to stick with it over time. So that's what I have done, and it's been incredibly effective for me because, again, like you cannot predict these ups and downs, these big swings, and especially when there's cycles within, of course, Bitcoin, but also all other cryptos basically follow Bitcoin at this point. There's these cycles where there's these massive spikes and these massive dips. If you try to time that, you can end up losing a lot of money. And that's the biggest thing, especially in altcoins, when there's so much volatility and so much movement. I just have a lot of caution around altcoins because sometimes it's fun to try to trade and to try to catch that flash in the pan. But if you see an altcoin going up by 300, 400% in a very short amount of time, odds are if you're going to try to invest in that and kind of chase that movement, you're going to lose out because you're going to get in too late and then it's going to come down. Now, if you just ignored all of that and invested every week, regardless of what the price is, then that takes all the stress out of trying to time it out perfectly. So that's another whole aspect of the dollar cost averaging, because let's be honest, in the cryptocurrency space, it can get stressful because there's just such intense price movement. And this is your money that you're putting in. So it's obviously hard to not, track every single movement. It's hard to not keep up with the, spikes and the dips and everything. But if you just stick to a very consistent plan, odds are over time that value is going to increase. It's the same proposition that a lot of people use in the stock market. Just the idea that yes, there will be stock market crashes. That's pretty much inevitable, that we'll see one every 15 to 20 years, maybe even more so now that things are kind of accelerated in that fashion. But if you just invest consistently and don't worry about those things, then you will make a bigger profit over time and you will get all of the spikes and the dips. So you'll buy high, you'll buy low, you'll get all of it. And you're not putting all of the investment in at once. And that's the biggest thing too, is like if you're gonna put in a $10,000 investment into something like Bitcoin, don't put all $10,000 into it right away, because it could go down $5,000, $6,000 the next day, and then you just missed the giant opportunity to invest at a lower price. So instead, chop that $10,000 up into, honestly, I'd say $100 a week. And then at that point, you're spreading it out so much that you're going to get a lot more exposure to a lot of different prices. So this is at least what I try to do. And I know it doesn't work for everybody, because I know a lot of people try to kind of catch those big movements, and it is fun to trade, especially in altcoins. I definitely understand that, because you can make a lot of money if you hit it big on a lot of those trades. But the problem is you can also lose a lot of money. It's a high risk, high reward environment. So if you do believe in something like Bitcoin, if you do believe in something like Ethereum, then just accumulate over time and don't worry about the actual price. This is the biggest trick for me. Don't worry about the actual price in US dollars or whatever your native currency is, because over time, that is not going to be as important. Just worry about how much Bitcoin or how much Ethereum or whatever the project is, how much you actually have. Just look at that metric. So right now, if you have 0.37 Bitcoin and that's worth $23,000, that seems great, right? That's a pretty good starting point for your Bitcoin. It seems like, oh yeah, I've invested $43,000 into Bitcoin's looking good. But honestly, 0.37 Bitcoin in 10 years could be worth $400,000. I mean, we honestly don't know at this point, but that's something that's very, very possible if we continue to see these bull cycles and these bull runs. So if you look at it like, oh, I've got $40,000 in Bitcoin, you may, I don't know, think of it differently than if you had $400,000, because it's just about the Bitcoin itself. Don't think about those metrics. Just think, I have 0.37 Bitcoin, and that's all that matters. So that's what I try to do in the crypto space, and it has been really effective for me, because I've been able to get in at high prices, I've been able to get in at low prices. I'm never really worried if I'm getting in at the right time, because I am just taking that completely out of the equation and saying, you know what, I'm just gonna get as much as I can over time. And this is basically the best way to do it, because then I'm not putting everything all in at once, risking a big dip right after. Every time there's a dip too, maybe I'll put a little bit more in. That's another thing that I've kind of added to my strategy. Like if there is a pretty major dip like we saw last month where it comes down 20-30% in a day, then I might, kick up my investment for that, because I know that it's at a lower point. But that's when you want to get in. And that's the biggest thing too with these altcoins. When these altcoins are moving fast and you see a 500% gain in 2 weeks, people get so excited and want to just FOMO into it and throw a bunch of cash into it. But actually, when you should be getting into those those altcoins, when you should be getting into those is when it's low, when it crashes. So if it comes down 30-40% in a day, that's when you get into it, because then when it comes up, you've made a huge profit. And Robert Kiyosaki has this quote, which I think is absolutely applicable to any type of investment. But he says, you do not make money when you sell. You make money when you buy. And that is the biggest idea behind dollar cost averaging, is that don't worry about selling it at the right time or getting it at the right time. If you just buy over time, you are going to make profits off of that. And don't worry about the swings. It's not going to affect you. It's going to affect you in the short term, but not the long term. And that's something that's really hard for a lot of people to put into perspective, because it is money. And money just has this power over us where it's just such a fascination, and it's so important in all of our lives. So I really do understand from that level why it's so hard to ignore these spikes and dips, because when you see it drop 20-30%, you just feel this, horrible feeling in your gut, like, oh my God, I just lost all this money. But in reality, you have not lost that money. As long as you don't sell and you just keep it in, and then also continue to invest on top of it, odds are in 20, 30, 40 years, you are going to make an insane amount of profit from that. So that's what I try to do, and that's my strategy. I hope this is helpful for you, because I do see a lot of those questions out there, and I'm so sorry that I can't answer those. This isn't really a trading channel. So there are a lot of trading channels out there on YouTube. And if you are looking more so to trade and make profits instantaneously with altcoins, I might not be the best channel for you. I'm just being honest, because my whole mantra is just HODL. Hold on for dear life, and over time, you will make the best return. But if you're looking for those quick, returns on trades, there are other resources out there if you're looking for that kind of research. So definitely don't stop here and keep looking for people that probably know a lot more than me about trading, but that's just not my world. And that's not how I invest, whether it's in crypto or real estate or the stock market. That's just not how I do it. So I just want to be completely honest and transparent about that. When I do get those questions, I'm probably not going to be able to answer them. Thanks so much for watching this video today, guys. I really, really hope this is helpful for you and really kind of explains the huge advantages of dollar cost averaging, especially in a volatile market. It can be the absolute best way to go when you're looking for the biggest returns over time, how to maximize your returns. I truly think that this is the best way. People always say about this about the stock market, but this is true about crypto as well. It's not necessarily about timing the market, it's about time in the market. It's about how long you hold on to those investments and how much you see them appreciate over time. If you did enjoy this video, if you found it useful, I would really appreciate if you could like and subscribe. Both of those things help me out so much with overall exposure through the YouTube algorithm, and just allows my videos to be seen by more people. So I would really, really appreciate that. If you do have the time, if you do have a second, to just hit that like button and also give me a subscribe if you did find it useful. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll be back very soon with another video. You guys are the best for always tuning in and watching. I really, really can't thank you enough. We'll be back soon. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.